give you a little overview for works, give some types for work with Houdini very fast. If you come, for example, another software like 3ds Max, Maya, or Blender or Softimage. When you're running for the first time Houdini, you find this situation with the classic menu with File, Edit, with Render and Windows. Okay, this menu is you can find in all software, 3D software. You find a shelf with some tools for create the geometry for modeling, and another shelf for create our effects. In the middle I find the viewport. Okay, and for move in the viewport, if I press Alt from keyboard and the left mouse button, I can rotate, I can have the 3D orbit in the space. With the scroll, with Alt and scroll, hold down Alt, I can have the zoom in, zoom out. And if I press Alt and the middle mouse button, I can have the pan. Alt and the right mouse button, I have the zoom if you don't have the scroll on your mouse. Okay, with the space bar and plus Alt G, I can return in the default situation. On the left, I find some tools for select, for example, the geometry for sub-selection, like the points. If I press the left mouse button, I can choose, for example, point, I can choose the edge, I can choose the primitives. And I have, for example, the select also by S from the keyboard. I have the move with the T. I have the rotate with R, and I have the scale with E. And I have the manipulate. Manipulate handle is very nice tools. Also, I have some snap to use in the next video. Okay. On the left, I have for example, for display or not display or hide. For example, the construction plane or grid, you can call it construction plane or grid, for lock camera, and also this we can show in the next video, and for light, for lighting, for show the points, the normal points, and the normals, etc., etc. On the right, I have the parameters and the network. In the network, I can create my schematic, my scheme for my effects. And sometimes it is very nice to create one node. Inside the node, I have a more articulated scheme. And in the bottom, I find the timeline with the classic, okay, the classic tools for timeline: play, stop, back, forward, and etc., etc. More important when we work with animation is the setting for real time. For setting real time on timeline, if you have the good machine, the good hardware, you can use the real time. You can press on this button in the right corner, okay, and this is the real time. If you want to have this value from default every time you running Houdini, you can go in the last button and open the animation option, and we can see the frame per seconds is 24, but we can change 25 or 30, or what do you prefer? I prefer working with the film scale 24, okay? And also I can maintain retime playback, possibly skipped frame, okay? Or play every frame but never fast FPS. I prefer maintain, so I save as default, okay? And here I have the confirmation from Houdini is option save it, okay, now I can close. And this is always when I running for the next time, Houdini I always is on. Another aspect very nice is the viewport. The viewport you can create, for example, the background light or dark or gray. This is more important when you work, for example, with particles. For see particles very well, you can have another kind of background. If you press D from your keyboard in the viewport, you can open the display option. Okay, display option is very nice because, for example, I can have the grid. I can also additional information like the show time, and find in the corner, the right corner of my viewport, I find the information of my FPS of my viewports. You can choose if you want. I prefer have active. Another interesting is the background. I can color scheme is light or dark. And dark, I see my background is black now. But I can also take the gray, and my background is gray. So if you want to work with the light, with dark or the gray, you can set in how you want. I prefer work with dark in this moment. So I can setting with dark. Okay? Also I can save as default. In this case, when I'm running for the next time, Houdini is running with this default, okay, default situation. Okay, now we can show how to work very fast or how to customize our viewport. I don't like more the shelf, but I can hide the shelf. So if you want to hide the shelf, here I have the little arrow in the go up. I can press and my shelf is hide. I can show and can hide. This is, I think, is more important. Don't have more tools, more toolbars out, because if you work with only one monitor, maybe you don't have more space for working, for see your effects. I prefer have one big viewport for working very fast. But in this case, for now, because I want to show you some little, sometimes I go to take for very fast situation to take some effect from the shelf. Okay, but for now it's closed. Another aspect more important, I can go, for example, here I want this situation, okay, and I can use more space for the network. For have more network, more space, I can press on this. Here we can see I have the free symbol. The one is the arrow on the top. This is the dot, more series of dot, okay, is the swap, and this is the down arrow go down. What these tools do? If I press on the arrow go up, my network go up. If I press with my arrow go down, my arrow now is go down and my parameters is come back. But if I press again, my parameters is become all and I don't have the network. I can go up. If I want to swap, for example, the parameters and I want to put here and put my network here, I can press in the middle and see is swapping. But I prefer, for example, have the big area for my network and parameters on the another side. I can do this in two ways. One way I can press on the arrow go up and press P from the keyboard. Now I don't have the nothing operator, but I can create one operator. For create one operator or one geometry, one element, for example, one sphere, I can create with click on the sphere, and then I press where I want to create in the position of the world. Okay, and create. You can see if I press P, I have one node. This node is my network. My network, if I go inside, press double right mouse button, okay, I can go inside and find my operator is node operator is the sphere. But I can come back with the arrow, come back. I can go inside also with E and go up with U, okay, from the keyboard. If I press P, now I see the parameters of this node. This specific node, in this case, is the network. The network is, I see, have only two flags, okay? Then I talk also on the flag. But sometimes it's not very comfortable because maybe you can have behind your parameters the node, but you want to see your node. For moving in the network, for example, for pan, you can press the middle mouse of button, have the pan, with the scroll, have the zoom, okay? This is okay. So I can divide this, my network, in two parts. For divide, I can go in the corner of my parameters, of my network, split pane left or right, or top and bottom. If I do top and bottom, I have two, but I don't want this. I can close, okay. I can pane split on the left and right. In this way, I have one for parameters. If I press P, I have two network. One network is here and one network is here. Here I can also swap. So here I have the network, and here I can, for example, add on the plus tab and show parameters. Now I have the parameters here, and can I grab and put in the first. And this is tab is for the network. I can close. Now I have the one parameters. The tree view is for see the logic of our project, materials and asset browser. But for now we can concentrate only on parameters. And I can save this layout if I want. For save, I go to Windows, Desktop, and Save Current Desktop, or Save Current Desktop As. If you do Save Current Desktop As, you can give another name and you can save it. Okay. If you want to restore your layout with the classic view, you can go to Windows, Desktop, and you can choose another kind of your desktop. For example, I have Animate. Animate is the desktop, is a thing for people do animation. I have the Windows desktop, the build. Build is the classic, and now I can go, sorry, to reset, reload the current, okay. This is desktop, is the build, is the classic situation you can find when you're running with Houdini the first time, or the classic time is the basic. Image is for working with the compositing inside Houdini. Compositing, yeah. Inside Houdini you can do more aspects. For example, you can work with modeling, you can work for rendering, you can work for material, for animation, and for create compositing. It's very basic compositing, but with this software you can do all you want without need another kind of software. It's basic, but it's okay for create a very fast situation, very draft situation. From Windows, again, look developments, you can find the layout is study for look development with the VEX. The VEX is the code inside Houdini. The shop is the material, okay? Windows, and models for modeling, technical posing, text pad for writing, etc. And you can also run it. If you save, you can find, for example, here I have my personal interface, my personal desktop. I can run it. I can find also here is some difference from the before, but is have the network and have the parameters. In the network, I see also the particular dot. I see also the particular cross is for anchor or for path, have more order inside my network. For setting this cross or for not setting, you can press on this icon with the eyes and open the display network option. You can find, for example, the render is the link style is very nice, and we can see after all the Bezier. Okay, we can see after what the difference, and also we can have the snapping. Okay, snap to the points, or no, the snap to the points, or with the background, the dependency, and okay. And when I show is close, is okay. If I go inside my network and I want to create another geometry, I can create another geometry. But this geometry is create inside this network, this node. Is a few difference. What I mean. For create very fast element inside your network or object level, we can do in object level. In object level, if you press the tab from your keyboard, you have the tab menu. The tab menu, it's the menu where you can find different section, different category of your Houdini, and you can create, for example, primitives. You can create a box. If you choose box, and you can choose where you can put this node, for example here, or press enter, you see your box is in the middle of the viewport. Okay, the same way you can delete it with select and press del or cans for your keyboard. This depends of your keyboard is kind of your keyboards. But anyway, if you want to create in the middle your geometry, you can go in the create on the shelf, and for example do with the tube. We can alt press Ctrl and Alt and hold and press the left mouse button. You can see your geometry is create in the middle, okay, of your viewport. But if I go inside my old network, the sphere, okay, and now I can, because it's the default is show all object, I can hide another object. What this free option? This option is show all object in the scene, all object in the create in this level, in the level of object level. If I go to the ghost other object and go inside my sphere, I see my tube is ghost, is transparent, okay, but I can't select it, okay. Also in the show all object I can select it, but if I choose hide other object, you can see your object, your tube is hide. Where is going? Is delete? No, is present, but in this network. This network is work in one way, and this network work in another way. So if I go inside, hey, my sphere, where is my sphere? Sphere in another network. Here is not delete, okay? So maybe it's very comfortable use the ghost other object. So if you go in another net, you can see your object is hide, okay, in ghost mode, ghost way, but you can see where is it. Maybe it's good for create some effects, or for don't create some element on another element, okay. Come back up with U from the keyboard and delete the tube. We come back on the sphere network and press select and press E from the keyboard. Now I want to create another object from here, so I press tab menu here and see it's a little difference from the other tab menu because I find a difference category, okay. The category is changed in base of the subnetwork where you here, okay. For example, in the network of the particles, you find the difference tools with the tab menu because have a difference takes. So we can press the tab and we can write S, P. So in this way it's very fast to find your object, your operation, and we can create another sphere, okay. Press enter again and your sphere is created, okay. You see, you don't see now, you see if you select your sphere, you see the sphere, but I don't select, I select my sphere, I see only the sphere number 1, not the second sphere. Why? Because here in the node I have 4 flags. This flag is different because for example the display is for see in the render and the viewport your geometry, your node, your effect. If I click on this eye, okay, it's not working. Okay, if I click on this eye of another node, I see another sphere, okay. I don't see this sphere, but for example for now I can take and move here, okay. And if I click on another sphere, I see the sphere, sphere 1, sphere 2. But it is not contemporarily. I can have the same, I can see also the 2 sphere, and I can use the template flag. Here I have another flag is template. If I click on template, I can see my sphere 01, but I see it's the wireframe. It's like the ghost, okay, because it's the template. You can see the sphere here and the sphere here, okay. I can work in, and I know here there is the space, there is another element. Here I can lock and unlock our node, okay? And here I have bypass. Bypass is not working, okay? Is freeze, is bypass in the operation in the network the effect of this node. Why bypass? And why? And what I mean when I say it's in the network is the process. Because Houdini is like the big network, is like the big tree, where I have the node, is the basic node, and then I can create another node and connect it in one. For see all geometry in your viewport, you can create one node called merge. If I press tab and write merge and click everything, I find the merge node. Merge node with the bypass, with the unlock and lock the flag, with template and with the display. Now I don't have anything. Why? Because I don't have nothing to connect from this node to another node. See here, I have one arrow is go down and 3 arrow go down. But I have here the input and is the output, okay? The input is where is arrive information and the output is where go out the information. I can see here I have one input and one output. Why? Because I can connect only one here information and here is multiple information. I can click here and drag and see the line with the dots and I can grab here and have, oh, I see my node. I see my sphere, but I don't click on the display flag. Why? Because if I click on display flag, I see also my sphere, but I see also the effect of this node. Okay, I can click here and drag here. Wow, I see two node, two connection. I see my two sphere in the viewport. Good. This is very good. And this line is not the dash line, but is continuous. And what is significate? Significate is okay. The connection it's arrived from here to here. In some node, I have only the dash because it significate another aspect, another value of your situation. But see here is the cross is important. No, but I can change this for don't have this cross. Is here I have the parameters, I have the merge node because I select my merge node and the arrow, I can press arrow and I can swap, okay? You can see now it's okay. Also I can delete this connection with two ways for delete this connection. One, it's click and drag and I have deleted one connection. The connection is from my select, okay, select my sphere here. I can click and drag and click another time and can break the connection. Or I can shake my node in same time. If I shake, my node is break the connection. This is very comfortable, okay? But I can see my network, okay? It's two elements now. I can do the same here. For example, if I shake my node, my merge node, so you don't see nothing, I can connect my sphere with my merge and connect my sphere with my sphere. No, I can't connect multiply because here I have only one arrow, okay, only one connection. In some case you have more input and you can connect more different nodes, but not this case. Okay, I can shake again and voila, it's okay. I can also select all and drag and connect, and here now I don't see nothing, but if I click here I see all my sphere. Another aspect for the sphere, for example, this is one sphere is different from this. Why? Because if I select this sphere, I see I have the primitive type is polygon mesh. Here I have the primitives, I have the polygon, I have a polygon mesh, I have a mesh, NURBS, Bezier, and polygon soap. Okay, it's a different kind of the mesh, the kind of mesh. Usually it's very nice to work, for example, with the polygon, and from the frequency I can change the frequency, for example 16, and I can back here. Okay, and here I can see more subdivision. Okay, here I have the radius. The radius, I can change the radius, for example, for one axis. The axis in Houdini is like Maya, for example, is x, y, and zeta. Is see also here the information, the axis information. The y, it's the up, is the vertical axis. Okay, and you can, for example, put here 0.5, 0.2, or 1, you can change. This value in Houdini is the meters. The unity is only the meters. Okay, so 0.5 is 50 centimeter. 2 is 2 meters. 1 is 1 meters. Also I have the center. Okay, the center, where is the application, the center of my geometry. I can also change, for example, 2, my center now is in 2, and so I see the difference is go up. But I can change the value with type value, or for example, I can press the middle mouse or button on the one value, and here I have the difference system of scale. For example, 1, and you can see change from 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, etc. Or 0.1 is change, the increase by another value from 0.1, 0.1 plus 1, etc., etc., and so on. I can also take the radius, and if I press the middle mouse on radius, I change all value in the same time. Okay, you can give also another kind of scale, for example 0.1 for a very small case, or 10, or 1, etc. Okay, you can choose different kinds. Another aspect very important inside Houdini is the parametric. What is it parametric? Parametric is the properties where you can go up and down, change the value, and you can find this value is application without problem in every time and in every node. Okay. In some case, in other software, for example, you can't edit your geometry and come back and re-edit. You can maybe delete your geometry and re-edit it from the started. In Houdini, you can work different. For example, I have here my sphere, okay, or I can delete all, create another sphere, okay. I choose, for example, the polygon and apply 8 frequency. Okay. I can apply the effect like the mountain. Mountain is the displays the noise effects on your sphere. I can click and drag, okay? And if I press tab and create mountain, I see the connection is direct, okay? Is a few difference from, for example, press tab, mountain, click, take, and drag, okay? Is a little difference. But see also another aspect very important. You can connect one node, in some case, one node to more nodes, okay? For example, we can see what is difference. I can delete it now. I go to mountain. I can work on some value, very random. And I want, for example, create more subdivision. Okay. I want to create the copy of my geometry, and I can plug here. For example, from here, the number of copy, I want 6 copy, and translate from here to here, okay. Press tab, hold shift, alt tab, and G. You can zoom out, you can see all. And now, for example, I want to change the mountain. I can come back, I can select the node of mountain, okay, select it, display only it, and change it, okay, and come back on the copy nodes, copy SOP, and you can see your copy is change old. You can, for example, select your sphere, change the radius, and change all geometry, okay, from the copy SOP. Sometimes, in some software, if you do this operation, it's not possible. It's not possible, come back and go ahead, and come back and go ahead and come back. It's not possible this. In Houdini, you can do it. Or, for example, you can create another mountain, okay, I can show this. I can create, for example, another box. I create a box here. I want to move it. I can move it, I can edit in the first time. With here I have the handle, okay, from the manipulate. I can manipulate this, but I prefer use the transform nodes and move the translate from the X. And for example, I can scale, I can show the template, your sphere, and I can rotate, but scale it, scale from another hit, okay. I can create with tab, for example, the cookie is Boolean operator. It's very nice because I have the input. If I press the middle mouse on the input, I have the input 1 geometry A, and here I have the geometry B. So I can connect the transform to my cookie in input A and the mountain in input B. Okay, and now we can active and see nothing. Why I don't see nothing? Because I need to know how is work for union, or work for intersection, or work for A minus B, or B minus A. Okay, now I see also the template. I can disable template and see my operation is work. Okay, I can add, for example, now the subdivision, I can select, for example, my node, Control C, Control V for past, and connect, and you see, okay, and you can also Control C your geometry, you can see the copy, and this work. Wow, I have this or this. I create the network, I create the scheme, I create the situation where I can choose this way or this way. Okay. Also, I can create for choose very fast. I show a little node is tab the switch. Select, connect, and the switch is the input 0 is the input on this copy with the mountain sphere, and I see the copy 01 is not active, and I have the little line with the dot with the dash is the, so if I select, is the input number 2. I can choose or this or this. Very good, it's very comfortable tools for work. So now I can come back, and in this network I work, I create this scheme, I create this layout, I create this situation, but I don't create here, I don't have more confusion, more network, but I have only here. Okay, this is more important because I can create another network, another node with another network, for example, geometry. I can jump inside. For geometry is create this node, for colored another node, and geometry like BGO format. Or I can delete, I can create, for example, the tube, and I create continuous to work, and create this node, this node, this node, and more network for working with very different kind of node. But this node is different from the node inside the network. Okay, here I have 4 flags, and here I have only 2 flags. What's the difference? One is for display, and I don't see my sphere. And one is for selected. So I select here, but I don't select here in the viewport. I can select only here my my geometry. Okay. So now I can select all. If I uncheck the selection, for example, geometry, I can select all. Okay. Another good aspect of Houdini is the manipulator. Manipulator is different from the operator, but sometimes, for example, now I can hide the sphere and select only the tube. Here I have the manipulator is, and also I can hide my construction plane. Manipulator here is the combination of all my tools for transform tools. I can move it one axis, and if I go in the middle, I can move in the middle or another axis. I can rotate, and if I take this, I can scale or rotate. But if I press E from the keyboard, I can change the from the keyboard, I can change the kind of the manipulate. I can, for example, take this is for scale, E, it's only the transformation, it's for rotation, it's for scale. Okay, this is very good, it's very fast when you work with Houdini, and you can don't take this, move this, I want to rotate, I want scale, okay? This is very fast when you work. Another aspect is this system is always local by your geometry. If you don't want to manipulate the transformation, the operation is not local, but is universal, is global, you can press the right mouse button in the viewport, and from one moment, you can press on your manipulate right mouse, and you can choose the align handle on the world, on the view, or on the parent, or press M from the keyboard. Okay, world, M, viewport, M, and the M is object. This is very nice. Inside Houdini, another aspect very important is the kind of your network. If you have the network for the object, you're working for the object. If you have the networks for the channel, you're working for the motion effects, is working for create animation or motion graphic. If you work for image, you work for compositing. And if you work for output, work for render. And the shop is material. And wax is the contents for scripting, for create the scripting inside the Houdini. But you can also see the difference from the different kind of your network by color. It's very helpful if you have new in Houdini, have different color for understand what you do. And for shoot color, from edit, preference, general user interface, or control plus comma, you can here choose different kind of your aspect and customize it. For example, for general user interface, you can choose the color pane hits with network context, and I can accept and see your geometry network now is the blue. If I go to the shop, is the purple. If I go to the output, is sand, and so on, is green. Image is another brown, etc., etc. This is very comfortable. Also, you see here another aspect very important of the viewport. The viewport is the sheen viewport. Here is now is blue, but I have the animation editor for create animation. I have the render view. This render view is the render very fast in real-time render, and when you change something, for example, I can go to my tube, I can select my tube, I can change the radius 0.5 and see my render is interactive. I can stop also my render here. I change another 0.5, but I won't stop it because maybe I don't need to create a render. Okay. Composite view, another color, motion, and geometry speed sheet, where is my geometry. And this is very nice because it represents also the logic of Houdini. What is the logic, basic logic? Basic logic is, if I go to on the tree view, okay, here I find the root, the general root, and down I find the folder. Folder is the category of the contest. Inside this folder, if I press on plus, I find my node. Inside my node, I find another node. Another node is the contest of my folder. So I have one root one folder and subfolder. And this is very logic because you can have here, 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 you can find more situation. Okay? It's very nice.